You remember the commercial, "Dude, you're getting a Dell," and that was a good thing? Well, that's not the case with this Dell 2-in-1. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today I've got basically just a buyer beware type video for this particular series of Dell laptops. This is a Dell 14-inch 2-in-1. This is a pretty recent model. If it's something that you're looking at or something that you already own, I'm going to give you some things to look out for and give you some things to warn you about. This one, it says on the bottom P147G. I think it's also called the Dell Inspiron 14, and I've seen the number 7415 used for it. I think there's several different models that are all the same case, basically just a couple different specs inside. But this, as you can tell, is not in its optimal form right now. This 2-in-1 is more like just a 2-in-none, really. So let me show you what happened to this one and what to look out for in case you have one or if you're looking to buy one. So quick little backstory on this. This is a laptop that I actually bought for my daughter, and she's in college, and I thought it was going to last her a couple of years. This is a pretty, like I said, pretty recent laptop. It was a i7, like 11th gen, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabytes of SSD, and you know, it's a great little laptop, but the problem is it didn't last her even a year. And she basically sent me a text one day and said, "Hey Dad, my laptop's just not good right now." And she sent me a picture, and I think you can see from right here, so this is the top assembly of the screen, that this is very bent up here, and this is where this hinge would sit. So this is a double acting hinge to allow the laptop screen to open up and to fold all the way back. So I had her send me the numbers and everything, and started Googling, what I would need to fix it. And what I found was just hundreds and hundreds of other people on the Dell website complaining that they had the same exact laptop, same exact problem, like same exact hinge. All of their pictures looked exactly like the picture that my daughter sent me, and it just wasn't sounding good. Like nobody was getting it fixed. A few people said that they did get it in and get it warrantied, but it just happened again. It broke in the same exact spot. So what you got here is this hinge. Like I said, it's a double acting hinge, and it's held on here by just a tiny little bit of plastic. So this is where it's supposed to be, right here, and this guy right here, this little threaded insert, should be right here. This tiny little thin piece of plastic holds that insert in there, and that's what this big honkin' hinge is attached to. So this right here would have been attached right there with that little piece of plastic. So the threaded insert would have sat right here, and the screw holding the hinge onto the laptop would have gone right through there, and all the bits and pieces were there. It's just totally destroyed. So if you look at this hinge here, you can see how much force it takes me to even try to move it a little bit. And it is set up so that this one has to be in a certain spot before this one will move, and then this one has to be in a certain spot before this one will move. That's how it acts, to allow it to go up without going backwards before it went up. But I think it's just a horrible design. It's just way too tough to activate. Even the one over here that's the good one, it's still started boogering up too. So you can see it's starting to get out of place. And it's not like it's broken. It just requires a lot of force, and I think that a lot of force that's required to open this thing, which usually when I pick up a laptop and I feel that, I feel good about that, because you don't want one that's sloppy and loose. But I think that all that force on these little hinges that's attached into that little bit of plastic was just too much, and it's just failing. So it's definitely just a bad design, definitely a poor implementation of using plastic to hold a hinge that's going to be used, for not just opening the laptop, but spinning it around. And my daughter never used it spin all the way around like tablet mode or anything. She just opened it up, did her work, closed it back down, and like I said, it didn't even last a year before that thing cracked off. So then what now? I tried to find the hinges, can't find those. I found the existence of them on some, Dell parts websites, but they're all sold out. I imagine other people are trying to repair these things. I found the back assembly here, which is just the back part of the laptop cover without the screen. So that's really all I would need. The screen is fine. I just need the 2 hinges and the back assembly. Well, the back assembly was like 60, 70 bucks or something like that. And really you're going to be screwing this heavy hinge right back into the same tiny little piece of plastic again. So I'm not too happy about that. And then the other thing, the only other place I found was they had what's called a hinge up assembly, which is the hinges, the screen, the top cover, all of that in just one big chunk, which is exactly what I took apart from here. And that was like 350 bucks. But same thing. You would take this whole thing, screw it back down to here, and it's going to eventually fail on you again. So I don't feel confident in buying, definitely a $350 screen assembly to put onto a laptop that, nowadays might cost $400 or $500 to buy. It's just not smart throwing your money at something like that. All right, so what now? So like I said, this is kind of a buyer beware situation. I'm warning you, if you're watching this video and you're looking at buying one of these, I would just say don't do it. And if you already have one of these, then I would say just watch these hinges and open it up extra specially easy. I don't know what kind of advice to give you at this point. If it didn't last a year for me, then there's probably not very many people out there that have ones that are still working. If you are, you're completely lucky, and just take this as a warning for you. So am I going to spend the $300, $350 on a new screen? No, absolutely not. Am I going to pay about 60, 70 bucks for the back plastic here and see if I can, get this to work? I have no confidence in this hinge right here not doing that again. Just feeling how hard it is to move. So if this is defective, I have looked for these hinges. I've been unsuccessful, so I'm not going to put these hinges on a new assembly and try to attach it on here. So that's not the case. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I got my daughter another laptop in the meantime. Luckily, I've got lots of laptops around here, so I actually had a couple she could choose from, ones I was working on. So she's okay for now. I'm just going to figure out what I can do with this. I mean, I can't even part this out for very much because this thing's no good. This is still okay. I mean, it's a really nice computer. I'm half tempted just to see if I can take this thing, power it up, and hook it up to an HDMI monitor and see if it works. That sounds like an interesting thing to try. Let me try that right now. Alright, so I plugged some power into it, plugged a HDMI cable into it, and look what we got. We got a headless laptop right here. So this is just all the computer right here, minus the screen. All working fine, apparently. And I was right, it was a 11th gen i7, 16 gigs of RAM, so it's still a decent computer. It's got the Iris video adapter in there, and it works pretty good. It's just not going to have a screen on it right now. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this, if I'm going to try to repair it, or if I'm just going to try to maybe make it into some kind of Frankenstein creature type computer. Maybe I'll use the LCD for something else, for a different project. Maybe I'll use this for another project. Maybe I'll slap it inside an arcade machine or something and play some games with it. But we'll find some use for it. The bad thing is it was I wouldn't say super expensive computer, but it wasn't a cheap computer. And the fact that Dell's not standing behind it is kind of stinky, if you ask me. But just Google this model number, look at pictures, and you're going to see a bunch of broken ones, I bet you. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Like I said, just a buyer beware type video, just to show you what to be cautious of if you're looking at these, or if you already own one. Let me know down in the comments below if you've got one of these, if this happened to you, or if you have one and it's still rocking fine. But if nothing else, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to check out the rest of the channel, see if there's something else you want to watch, that'd be awesome too. But I thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.